Welcome to Mike's Apartment, where we review drinks and have a little comedy along the way. My name is Mike. I'm your host. With me is my co-host Thom. Thom, how's it going tonight?
Going good. We're not trying a new drink tonight, mainly because of me. There's a blizzard, so I couldn't get out. So I'm going to be working on some of that box wine that we tried a couple weeks ago. But I'm doing good.
And I'll be
Um,
working on this raspberry mead. It's pretty good. It's
ooh,
pretty
I'm
good
a little
actually.
jealous.
It's a
We haven't done a mead yet. We should do one maybe next week.
yeah, we
I
should.
I was suggesting maybe an ale for today, but and then I couldn't get out. But mead. Ooh.
Definitely. So we'll be talking about artificial intelligence and
Mm-hmm.
also basically, I'm sure Thom will be a great representative for this, but both the book and the movies and the TV show It, I've only seen the one movie, but Thom has absorbed it all.
Yeah, and I've done a lot of research on like Stephen King and stuff. Back in the day, I was really I'm trying to get back into it, but I was really pursuing a writing career, and he is like the most successful author in the world or whatever. So I did a lot of research on him and like watched presentations he did. I read his book on writing. It's called On Writing,
I'd read it. Yep,
a
I've read it.
memoir of the craft,
I've read that one too.
and it's funny. It's funny because a lot of people love his books, but then they complain about the endings. And it had a very interesting ending. I'm sure. Have you heard about the ending of the book? It
No, I have not. I've only seen the
well,
2017 films ending where they beat the crap out of him, and that's basically
mhm.
he didn't. And then he
And then he
and
sunk into the
understand,
hole,
yeah,
whatever.
and,
Yeah.
and
So
understandably, what is it? Every 23 years he comes back or something,
I think it's
or
27.
27 years. Okay.
And when they did the movie in 2017, that was like an anniversary from when they did the miniseries in 1990.
Mm.
So I don't know if that was serendipitous that they managed to get it out that year or if that was intentional, but I've never looked
All
into
right.
that. But
Well,
they made a big deal of that.
let's
Anyways,
actually
AI.
let's jump over to AI. Yeah, first get our serious topic out of the way. Now, artificial intelligence. Everyone's heard of it. Most people have in the civilized, in our society, our culture has used it. What does it mean? Um, so the thing is this: I'm in IT, and I just got I got a Google AI certification just
Mm.
yesterday, as a matter of fact. Um,
Congrats, by the way, Mike.
yeah,
I know I said that earlier when you mentioned it,
yeah,
but
no,
that's an accomplishment.
yeah,
That's
definitely
good.
a little. It doesn't mean a whole lot, but it's a little feather in my hat, so to speak. But long story short, yeah, like what is AI? How does it affect us? I have six critical questions to ask, and Thom just we'll both jump in on these questions because I think that they're important, and I think that we should have some speaking about it.
Sure.
So,
Is
oh,
it relevant to mention before we get into it that technically what we have is not
correct.
artificial
Yeah, not
intelligence, it's the
true.
language learning system or whatever they call it.
LLM. Yeah,
M-
that's
Mo- what's the M stand for, module or
machine.
machine? Okay.
Um,
So it's language learning.
language
So it
learning machine.
gains
Yeah, and language
and,
learning
and it
machine is an
and
LLM.
it works with like often it works with like predictive text, or if you ask certain things it might pull things from the internet or other
Yeah, and
sources
then
that it has available.
tokenization, where it pulls like every letter has a different value. It's actually kind of neat how it works. We may not, want to go into everything with that. I mean, there are lots of courses out there that people
Hmm.
can take. What I wanted to kind of focus on was more of the ethics and maybe the societal like things that will happen with it. So let's just start off here with my first question. The first question is this: who will be in charge of the transformation into an AI world? Currently, a handful of the wealthiest people are investing hundreds of billions to develop and implement AI. Are we comfortable with letting these people shape our society without any democratic input or oversight? What do you think, Tom?
That's a hot topic.
Oh, they're only gonna get we
And I'm
got they're gonna
and
get hotter.
I'm not talking about the 1990s gothic store where you got goth clothes and
Oh,
whatever
oh,
jeans.
they went AI too.
But
So no, I'm just kidding. They
oh,
went
they
AI.
did.
Oh, they
They
went AI
did.
too. They realized goths were not the
Yeah.
future. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Maybe South Park will do an episode on the goths' reaction to
So,
AI.
so what
But
do you think though?
no,
What we have no
about the
no
it's kind of
democratic oversight
like
or
the one percenters that everybody's like mad at for whatever reasons. I try to avoid politics with a lot of this stuff, but I I I think since this is something that affects the masses, I think there should be some sort of oversight to it. I mean, so we recently talked a lot about say like space travel, which was initially so like back in like the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s was a basically all government and they had like regulations and stuff. And now we have a lot of the privatization by like billionaires like crap Elon
Elon
Musk,
Musk,
what's
Mark
his name
Zuck,
from Amazon
oh,
Prime
Jeff
or something.
Bezos. Yeah.
Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg, whatever. They all have programs that are privatized to get people up into space. It's like over 200 grand for a ticket, whatever. And you're only up in space for 8 minutes. And technically, you're not really even all that far up into space. But, anyways, so I think the privatization of it could be good because it drives competition if you have different people developing different versions of AIs and such. So it could
But
benefit,
that's not the so
but I think there needs to be oversight on it because of uh, I did a
that's
little
the
more reading on it today with because there's like concerns about economics, how AIs might affect that kind of stuff, how AIs might
I, I think the question
like
it's not the
might
services
replace
of it.
jobs.
It's not the
Yeah,
services. It's not I think the $20 a month you pay for ChatGPT or whatever, that's it's not about the services. It's about these billionaires having the ability to develop and create AI in ways, there's no regulation in the United States for it. So they can
I
basically
think
do whatever they want with AI. I mean, more or less. I mean, it's not about like
the
privatization of it necessarily because I mean, well, the truth is this
yeah.
though, both the USA and China have two governments have invested heavily in it. Other countries not so much, but I mean,
But there's no real regulation for it. But
no, not
I
at
think
all. Yeah, they
I
turned
think
that down. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some previous examples of this that and I sorry you kind of blindsided me with the question so I wasn't prepped with
Oh,
like
oh, there's
being
gonna be
able to
more. There's
research
gonna
it
be
a little bit
more. There's gonna be more.
but there have I think like even with the advent of the internet and stuff like when that came out well technically it started out as the ARPANET right and that was
The military. That was
universities
no. ARPANET was the
military
military's defense. It was the
okay
Department of
so
Defense's,
that was
and then it
regulated
went to
but then it
colleges
kind of
too. But
then it went to colleges because I do remember in the 1980s my dad coming home we had a Commodore 64
mm-hmm.
64 meaning 64-bit
Bit.
computer and then we had a 128 as well which by the way had a color monitor it wasn't dual green screen it wasn't like the
So
dark screen with the
so
big screen text
advanced.
on it whatever. So but one day he came home with this little box, and I was like, "What's that?" And he's like, "We're gonna download video games from a university." And he set the box down on the desk next to the computer, plugged a line into the phone line, and then he took the phone. Oh no, he plugged the line into the computer, and then took the phone off the receiver, because we had you had like a little thing that your phone would sit on, and you either had like one of those turn dial things, or you had the numbers on it you could
Sure.
dial and then you took the phone off the hook and you put it on the box. Anybody who's seen crap, what was that movie?
1995
War Games.
hacker. Oh, War Games.
No,
Oh,
War
different one.
Games. That was
Okay.
no. This is 1980s.
1980s.
Hackers
It was
was more
19.
advanced,
Yeah, that was with
but
God, what's her name?
Keanu Reeves. Oh, Joel Angelina Jolie,
Angelina,
not
yeah,
Keanu Reeves.
Angelina Jolie. Yep.
He was in Johnny Mnemonic,
Yep.
Keanu Reeves,
Yep.
but which was similar. But he had a thing he could plug in, similar to the Matrix, but not quite the spike. But anyways, so war games, he could. They were back in the 80s. People thought you could hack a computer by picking up a phone, going beep boop, whatever. Like
That's not
that's
entirely untrue. People could whistle. You can whistle. It's called the baud. You can. A
mm,
human being is capable of whistling up to 1200 baud, which you could
okay.
technically use for.
So,
But that is a real.
but
The blue box or black box. Those are real things for back then, not today.
but anyways, my dad, he's like, we're gonna download video games. I was like, how does that work? It's still that technology, the ability to put a phone on a little box and with sounds download data to a computer,
Hmm.
uh, and so, and then you had the internet in the '90s started kind of becoming more used, um, uh, and it wasn't. I don't think it was really regulated too much, but I think the government's really kind of tried to get involved in it. I know China regulates like what you can view, right?
Yeah, correct. That you
Uh,
don't have free
so
access to the internet in China unless you have a VPN, I guess.
so
But all right, next
so
question.
okay.
Unless you feel your okay. What impact will AI and robotics have on the economy and the working class? Elon Musk said, and I quote, AI and robotics will replace all jobs. Working will be optional. Bill Gates, obviously of Microsoft, and then
Okay. Yeah.
Dario Amode of, is it Anthropic, have basically said the same thing. If millions of people have no income, how will they pay for their housing, health care, and other expenses? How will people live?
Well, before I forget which episode of Doctor Who it was, I mentioned an episode of Doctor Who, and I couldn't remember what it was.
Mhm.
It was a Jodie Whittaker. She was the 13th Doctor, I believe, in Doctor Who. There was an episode called Kablam, and basically the company was basically an interstellar Amazon called Kablam, and whatever you wanted, you could order it, and then these droids could find you anywhere. One found the TARDIS and entered the TARDIS, which no, that shouldn't happen in Doctor Who, and delivered a package saying "Help me," and so they went back to Kablam, and they used Doctor Who tactics to get jobs at Kablam, and their big their human resources person that they met was like, we're 10% live, creatures working here. It's 90% automated, but the government or whatever required that each company at least have 10% of their job force be like humans or whatever, aliens, whatever in that case. Um,
But what does everyone
so
else do? I mean, do people receive like a UBI from the government, a universal basic income? Like, do we
um,
receive money from the
so
government? I mean, like how does that work?
that
What does everyone else do? I mean,
maybe this will push us in the direction of do you remember that Star Trek The Next Generation episode? I think it was season one, towards I think it was the season finale or the last second to last episode where they found that where they had that conflict with like the Romulans on the neutral zone, whatever, but they found that floating space debris that turned out to be a cryogenics pod of some kind from our time,
oh yeah.
and the one of the guys got always like, "Hey, I need to call my bank and find out my stocks must have divided like 12 times at least since I was frozen." And Picard mentions like, we've outgrown the need for money, and poverty and all that. So maybe right now I think there's a lot of fear about um, AI replacing us, the human workforce, in a lot of jobs. I think right now we still have to have human oversight because one of our friends mentioned he did a search on his computer to identify like the inputs and outputs of something. I think it was for work, and it said, okay, yeah, we've identified this input, this one input, and this other output. And he's like, no, there's more than one input and output. And the AI said, oh, that's a good point. We found more than one output, and then they provided the same result, one input and one output. So you need human oversight right now,
Yeah.
but I'm sure
Always a
as
human in the loop. Always a human. Some,
yeah,
especially for the more
and
important the task, you're definitely going to want someone there because you can't
yeah,
just
and
trust AI
yeah,
right now. That's not
and
what they
right
can do.
now, I there's like certain prejudices that could influence how AI,
Oh yeah, the
and I don't mean
bias
like yeah, I don't mean like
biases.
human influencing it. It might just be how you ask the question, but but as you like ask your question, then you might need to refine your query and keep on refining it until you.
Well,
But then,
your
but also,
let me just say it's so I would just say your prompt, not to correct you, but just say it's your prompt that you want to
okay, I
queries
said query.
because I'm also a big SQL nerd, which is structured query language. So
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah, no, that might be why that I said query because I don't. I have
I'm a
I've
big nerd like
worked
that.
I've
So
I've dabbled in AI, but I use I'm not a SQL person per se, but I do use a SQL app to at work for various things, and so we talk like queries and stuff like that. But anyways, it could be something.
but
It
it's definitely gonna suck for people if we are gonna go to some kind of Star Trek utopia where
mhm,
labor and income is no longer a thing. We need, in the interim, like this ground between everyone has a job and then we don't really need
yeah.
you anymore. We need something, some kind of cushion, something
That
to
that's one
yeah.
thing that's one reason back to the original question. I think we need regulation is to help mitigate any negative impact and turn it into a positive. But I think part of the problem is going to be the masses and their and fear based responses to things. The main thing is make informed decisions. Do your research on what AI is right now, how it's developing. Pay attention to it, um, and I mean, pay attention to other things too, like the news. You know what's going on in the world. All these things are commingled, right? I think a lot of them affect each other. So,
Sure.
but
Well,
AI. I wanted to also mention iRobot.
oh yeah.
Did I already
Will
mention that?
Smith, Will Smith,
Yeah.
I Robot,
Well,
or
I
I'm
mean,
just kidding,
but that was
or
Isaac.
Isaac Asimov. Yeah, sorry, I
Yeah.
cut you off there.
So, but that was an instance where the AI, they had the set of rules. What were the three rules that Isaac Asimov gave? Is like
Mostly about you cannot
they can't harm a
a
person,
person
they can't
cannot
self
allow
destruct.
and they cannot allow a person to come to harm through inaction.
So
They can't sit back and like let a human
the
die,
the
basically.
AI decided to basically just take over like humanity
Yep.
and put them in a cage to so that they could actually meet those requirements of
The
their bylaws
criteria.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we need to. I think that is a cautionary tale that we need to be aware of, and you know, work in ways that humans are always involved in
Okay.
whatever process that the AI make. You like maybe have it set so that the AI is required to recalibrate with various humans and not just the billionaires that created it.
So so we're gonna jump ahead here. Okay. What impact will AI have on our democracy? Tell me about an AI powered surveillance state. Larry Ellison, the second richest guy on the planet. So he's Elon Musk is the richest. Larry Ellison is number 2. He said this: citizens will be on their best behavior because we are constantly recording and reporting everything that is going on. What do you think about an AI surveillance state? Which is
So I I'm trying to remember where I read it or whatever, but so there so like I think there was an instance where um there was some kind of, I think it was a crime that was committed, and somebody was caught on camera, but they used an AI to identify who it was, to face match or whatever, and the AI identified who it was, and they turned out to be wrong. But I think they had arrested the person, and then it caused some issues or something. I'd have to double check that story. I apologize if I'm not 100% accurate on it. I'm using AI for my search here. But
Boop boop
my 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 query,
boop.
I queried my AI on it, and that's what it said. So no, anyways, I think it might have been because for work we're having to incorporate AI into a lot of stuff that we're doing, and we've had to do some courses on it. And I think it might have been mentioned in one of the courses I had to do, talking about needing human oversight. So, um, but you know,
How would you like to be
I mean,
arrested? What if you were arrested on data only provided by the AI? How would you feel about that, Tom?
in our current state of
Sure,
AI,
sure, why not?
no.
What would you how
I
would
would.
you
I mean,
feel?
first off, I mean, am I innocent in this scenario,
It
or
doesn't matter.
I
AI
think
has pointed the finger at you.
okay, if I'm arrested based on that, regardless of whatever, I'd probably lawyer up. Well, I'd lawyer up anyways.
Now, would you
So
choose a human lawyer or an AI lawyer?
yes,
No, I'm just kidding.
a,
Would you choose an
wait
AI
a minute,
lawyer?
wait a minute.
They're a lot cheaper, I've heard.
Is my AI lawyer Bender from
It
Futurama?
could be.
I mean, he's a good drinking buddy.
Yeah, I
Have
got
you?
all
Have you?
rusty from not drinking.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say, have you seen him sober? It's not a good sight. But
Yeah, baby.
maybe maybe our mascot should be Bender. You know, we should just
I
whenever
love it.
maybe we should do like a little get a little image of him, an AI generated image of Bender, uh, you know, as our mascot. Which, by the way, I my somebody told me how because a lot of the AI images that I've generated, I've like, hey, make an image of me with Doctor Who on the TARDIS, and they're like, well, we can't generate any copyrighted images. And somebody told me a way to get around it. I'm
Yeah.
not going to mention it here. If you really want to try that,
You can
do your own search.
easily jail. How do you think I did all the images before? Remember how we had every franchise had the characters?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
obviously
it
it's
was
not hard.
interesting
It's not hard to do.
that
It's easy.
yeah, some of the images that because some of the images that I've generated using like Gemini, I technically did use copyrighted images.
Hmm.
I or asked for them. I didn't like do any jailbreak or anything like that, and it said okay. Like what was Jason? Oh, I did an image. I did a
Jason and Freddy
generate an
Krueger.
image.
You know,
No. I said what was Jason from the Friday the 13th series movies? What was Jason doing during the third Matrix movie when when Zion was being invaded by the AI? Oh, another AI movie, yeah, series. But and it generated an image of Jason with his machete, but it also gave him like a laser sword.
I saw that. Yeah. Hey, that's what he
I
has.
don't know why.
It's a
Whatever. I mean, maybe
it's
okay,
a
that's fine.
AI
So
hallucination. All right, let's
so
jump to
oh what
our
oh
next. Oh, you got
oh
more? Okay, let's jump to our next
no, I was
question
just
here.
gonna
But
go ahead, go ahead,
are you
go ahead.
sure?
Yeah,
Are you sure?
yeah.
Are you okay?
Go ahead.
All right. Could AI literally redefine what it means to be a human being? Who we are and how we develop intellectually and emotionally is assisted by the humans around us. Quote unquote, no man is an island unto himself. 72% of teenagers say they have used AI for companionship, and more than half, 50%, do so regularly. What does that mean long term for people who want to form friendships with humans and not AI? What happens to the when millions of people seek emotional support not from humans? What is the impact on humanity? And what are the most important relationships that we can have with both humans and AI?
I'm trying to think. So we talked about the three eye atlas. Is it a comet, whatever thing, or
Sure.
is it an alien thing? And the conspiracy about it being an alien thing was was originally, I think, reported by a Harvard professor, astronomer named Avi Loeb. And I saw an interview with him, and they asked him about AI and the AI personalities and relationships you have with them. And I'm trying to think exactly how he put it. He was very good with how he mentioned it. But basically, um, I've never done anything with those AI friends, girlfriends, or whatever.
Sure.
Besides Shadowheart and Baldur's Gate 3.
Hey,
But that's not AI.
hey, Shadowheart
That's
is every nerd's girlfriend all at the same time.
that's a but everything was pre-recorded, so it's
Oh,
not a it's not AI. So, anyways, but I can't remember exactly what he said about it. I do recommend maybe looking up what he said because he was very good about how he put it. But I think one thing with the AIs that I've worked with, they've always been like, "Hey, that's a great question," and that would be very interesting. And they're very positive. But if you have a real friend and you're going through some shit or whatever, they're gonna call you on your bullshit if they're a good friend. They're gonna
on that
which
note,
I don't.
Tom, I'm gonna call you on your bullshit right now, man. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna call you on it.
So
Just kidding. It's fun.
that's we need to save that for another video. Mike called Tom on his bullshit.
Yeah, that could be a whole
Plus we
video.
talk about plus we talk about it. Welcome to Dairy. So
uh,
which I love the show, but anyways, which is a prequel to the movies that Mike mentioned.
so
But
what you're saying
but
is,
an AI, I don't, I, I don't think an AI is going to help you grow. It might. I think it would actually. I mean, AIs can. Maybe beneficial. I mean, look at the EMH doctor in Voyager, right?
he
I
was
mean,
he was better off when he was rude.
he was,
When he was
but
rude, he was at its best. I will say this, yeah, it's like an echo chamber. It's you go into something, it just reinforces you constantly and constantly, but
mhm,
does not prepare you to take on a world where people may disagree with you. Maybe reality even disagrees with you. Maybe what you
mhm,
think is completely wrong, and you need something or someone there, like what you
mhm.
said, to tell you that. And it's,
Yeah.
that's where I'm at too. I mean, it's
And
just
you mentioned different or some different doesn't mean that you're wrong, but different can be wrong, and sometimes you need another perspective to help you see that this difference is wrong. You know,
yeah,
you
sure.
know what? Sure, that person is not gonna kill anybody else, but you just shoved a shiv up their ass or whatever. It's like, well, I mean, that wasn't your responsibility. I mean, well, maybe it was, but you need sometimes you might need another perspective to tell you to help you clarify which one it is. But
All right, so let's hop over to the fifth. There's only two more AI questions. So, all right, what impact is AI having on our environment? AI data centers require a massive amount of electricity and water. The data center in Abilene, Texas, uses as much electricity. Pardon me, I guess I've had too much to drink here, but it requires as much electricity as 700 oh, 7,500 people, three quarters of a million people, just for one data center in Abilene, Texas. What do you think
well,
about that?
the solution to that would be to ask the AI how to fix that energy
I don't
consumption
think they.
crisis.
I doubt they have an answer.
You know what? I think I mean we've as over time the world has started to developing alternative like energy sources like wind power, solar power. I don't remember what the percentages of solar power that we are able to utilize, but it was a very low percent from the I think it was one. And I think it's one of the astronomy videos that I watched, or a couple of them. They mentioned it. The amount of solar power we're able to harness and utilize is very low compared to the amount of energy we're receiving from the sun. So
Sure.
um, I, I think we need to stop or work on reducing and eventually weaning ourselves off of maybe fossil fuels. Um,
Well, that's the
I mean, I
thing,
guess.
right? Like we have about assuming normal consumption, right? We maybe have 300 years worth of coal, and we have less than 50 of natural gas, and
Mm,
then after natural gas, petroleum.
well,
It's
you
about
know,
50. So within 50, I mean, obviously you and I will not probably be alive for this, but maybe you have children. I have nephews and nieces. We all have family members, and what kind of world do we want them to inherit? I mean, one that
I
has
mean, I
no.
think I think we could fix the natural gas energy crisis by eating more Mexican food like burritos, beans, whatever,
Well,
and incorporate a system to capture that.
there
Like
is the whole
like
thing
when I
about
remember like in the day.
with cows. There's the thing with
Yeah.
cows, which is a real thing.
Oh, is okay.
Where they
Go ahead.
it's not about
I
farting necessarily, but
ultimately, well, I mean, methane's
yeah,
doesn't that come out of like manure or whatever?
a lot of yeah,
But
correct. Yeah, that's
but I so we mentioned Elon Musk earlier. He one of his I think plans or part of the I don't know if it was his plan or something or a theory that was presented in a video I watched about like colonizing Mars,
mm,
and they talked about first off they would send like AI powered robots basically to like harvest materials to build facilities and stuff to get things prepped for the human colonists to come in. And then when the human colonists would come in, they would probably have to recycle a lot of waste and stuff like that. I think they talked about that in the movie The Martian or
sure.
presented that. I have not seen that movie, but I think they mentioned that in the video. Um, so uh, recycling waste is a good way to it's
Carbon recapturing, because we can send up
yeah.
little things to recapture the carbon and bring it
Mhm.
back to Earth. I mean,
So I mean,
those are things that exist. Yeah,
right now we have a lot of taboo around using stuff like that, like human feces for fertilizer or whatever. But or there was an episode of Doctor Who, back to Doctor Who. It all comes back to
it
Doctor
always
Who.
comes back.
There was an episode with the 10th Doctor, David Tennant, where they were on New Earth or New Earth or whatever. How many New Earths it had been, and the um, tragedy happened, and basically there was this disease that was released that killed everybody in the city, and this one very important character in the show, who only shows up a few times, but he ends up being in the Torchwood episode, or not episode, but show.
So we're gonna keep
Anyways,
one quick
but
second. I apologize to everyone. I need to really quick run to the bathroom. We will not stop. Go ahead, keep talking, Tom. I
okay,
apologize. And I don't think we want to
damn you,
edit it
Mike.
out. It's just back over there.
Okay,
So 1 second.
all right,
But keep going, keep going.
damn it.
I can hear you. Keep going.
All right, okay. So this episode of Doctor Who, this is the second time they visited the new Earth or whatever, and they ended up the TARDIS appeared in this little alley. The Doctor's companion got kidnapped and added to this little car to get on the the highway or whatever. And because to get onto the expressway, you needed to have three passengers, and they only had two. And the expressway was clogged with like it was like a parking lot basically, and people had been on there for like 30 years or whatever. Just and they just kept on looping around this loop, and the expressway was supposed to get you to whatever faster. But anyways, what I wanted to mention was these vehicles that the people had on the expressway, in order for them to stay on the road for like 30 years, they recycled their waste, their urine, their poop, all that stuff. They had like crack that would be converted to like crackers and water. And so they got over the taboo of eating recycled waste. Well, until the doctor's companion was like found out what she was eating and drinking, but
All right.
because she was from modern day Earth and that was taboo, or is still is.
So yeah, definitely we would say then that AI has will have a significant impact on our environment, both water and electricity, but we'll see where it goes. All right, last question on AI. How will AI impact foreign policy and warfare? Right now, leaders are constrained in their warlike tendencies because of the human deaths. Like they don't want all those deaths on their hands. If, however, war only results in the destruction of robots, will political leaders across the globe, will they be more willing to go to war because of that?
Possibly. I think. Well, I mean, RoboCop the remake. I think it was a 2012 movie. Um, kind of addressed that a little bit. They didn't really address like the. Well, I mean, so you had crap. Was it not Lawrence Fishburne? Crap. What's his name? The guy who played Mace Windu. My
Oh,
my brain.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Sam Jackson. Yeah, no. So he was basically like this TV show host that was like kind of pro fascist basically. Um, and but they started out, I think, the movie showing like the Ed 209, the what did ED stand for? It was
I'm not sure.
whatever, enforcement droid. I think it's enforcement droid 209 series. Um, and then they also had like humanoid looking droids and to pacify terrorists in was it Pakistan or Afghanistan or wherever. It was a Middle Eastern country, and anyways, they I think though for governments with that it might come down to what is the cost of all these droids being destroyed? You know, in that movie, like I think when they made RoboCop, he was like over $1 billion to make, and then to maintain, you have maintenance fees, right, or
Sure.
costs.
Sure.
Um, all that maintenance fees are
But
more
what's
for like HBO Max or
I
whatever.
would
But
just say though, like because a lot of times when the military is used, there is what they call like a fatigue from the public. Like you can only go to war for so many years, and then like we
yeah,
saw that especially in Vietnam, where people were they were sick and
PTSD.
tired. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they were just sick of the war
Oh,
going
oh,
on, like
the public. Yeah.
war weariness. Not people who went to war necessarily, but the people who the public back home, they just got sick of it. But if the soldiers, if the people dying were not like real humans, and they were instead robots,
Well,
that would be less of a thing, right? I mean,
so you mean like
it might
both sides,
cost.
both sides have robots fighting robots? You
Yeah,
mean?
robots fighting exactly. Yeah, and so the countries are more willing to use that because they're not worried about, human deaths as much. So that's kind of one of
As
the
much.
questions.
That's a qualitative thing though.
Sure, sure.
I think in any war situation there's always going to be human fatalities. And I think part of the argument for using robots in war versus like our soldiers is there you can't put a price on the value of a human life,
Sure.
whereas a droid or a robot might cost $1 billion, but or I mean we have airplanes that cost $1 billion, right, or more, um, and we're sending them into combat already. So the thing with war is I don't think AI is going to solve war. I think what it comes down to is the people making the decisions just need to get over themselves and understand that, you know what, the, uh, we might disagree on things, but war or killing people or terrorist acts in some cases, not all disagreements result in terrorism. So I don't want to, make that as big a deal as maybe I did initially. But um, that we just need. I
So
think
what's the song? War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Come on, Tom, you're a musician. Ooh, war.
I know the
What is
song.
it
I
good
know the
for?
song.
Yeah, I'm sure you
I
played it
can't
on your
remember.
guitar.
I have not played it on my guitar, but I've listened to it
It's
plenty of
sitting
times.
it's
I,
sitting right
I,
behind you. I see it. You should pick
I'll
it
just let
up
me get it. I,
because
I, uh, I need to tune. Oh, by the way, so I have not really played my guitars much or done any music, whatever, for like the last 5 to 6 years or so. And back when I was playing a lot, so I would have I had calluses on my fingers, so I could play for an hour, 2 hours, or whatever. But the other day, I went started to play, and I don't have any calluses on my fingers anymore. So when I'm pushing down the strings, I was my fingers were hurting after like 2 minutes. So I got to work on building them back up
all right. Well,
so I
I
can play war.
I
What is it
think
good for?
I think that completes my AI questions, and I think we talked about it enough. So let's switch over the movie slash the TV show slash the books or the book, sorry. It. Um, well, Tom, tell us a little bit about Pennywise and why Stranger Things thinks that they copied from them or whatever, which is ridiculous.
Okay,
But
well, okay, so that comment goes back to right now there's a show airing on HBO Max called Dairy. Pardon me, It Welcome to Dairy, which takes place 27 years before the movie Mike watched, which was It Chapter One, which was released in 2017. So, but in that movie takes place in the 1980s, and the It Welcome to Dairy takes place in the 1960s, back when like the Cuban Missile Crisis was taking place, and kids in school were running drills to hide under their desk and all that stuff. And I've watched. I think I think I'm on episode 7, and they're doing an eighth one, I think, and that's the season finale. And I finally decided, like today or yesterday, no, I think it's yesterday, to kind of look up kind of what the general reviews were. I didn't look at any specific review. I just kind of looked at the highlights. And one of the negative comments is that the show It Welcome to Dairy seems derivative of Stranger Things, the show
derivative.
on Netflix. And I was like, what the fuck?
That
Oh,
that
we're far
the
enough in that I can say the
Yes,
word, right?
and that
So
idea of chronology is so stupid. Like they didn't
yeah,
understand what happened when. I mean, it's
and no, none of those people that have posted that kind of a review are aware that Stranger Things was heavily influenced by Stephen King, who wrote the book It,
yeah.
which the show I'm just talking about and then the movies were all based on. And so, I mean, fuck them. It's like the joke's on you guys.
So
So,
I
Stranger Things was influenced by it and other Stephen King works.
well, let me throw something out there, something funny that happened to me. So I had a friend and she and I were walking, we were like in a Walmart or something, right? And her
Yeah.
brother was with us. And he saw a book of Fellowship of the Ring, like Lord of the Rings, and it had the picture of Elijah Wood on it because they had put out, the new thing. And he's like, what? There's even a book now? It's like, Jesus Christ, dude! You don't know that these were books, or is that? Are we seriously at that point? You didn't realize that these were books before they became movies. I mean, it's like, okay,
Damn.
what's going on here?
Yeah.
What is up? But yeah, some people
The,
have no idea on the chronology of how these things happen.
sometimes that does happen where So the Red Letter Media guys that I watch, they did a review. I think the movie was called "The Last Vampire on Earth," which was highly basically it was a copy of the oh crap what was the vampire movies that were the vampires like sparkled in the sunlight?
Oh, not Charmed, but
Breaking Breaking Dawn and all those. Not Breaking Dawn. Was it
uh, geez, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Edward, isn't it?
Edward? Oh, I was gonna say
Twilight,
Edward. Twilight.
Twilight.
So
Yeah, sorry, my
The
brain
Twilight
zipped there
books.
too.
So I'm not going to comment anything about those movies or the books, but uh, this book, The Last Vampire on Earth, was basically a copy of those, uh, and then they released a novel kind of after the fact, but then they said that the movie was based on the novel, so it was a big joke,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
so that does happen, Mike, but but I get your frustration with Lord of the Rings the same way. Oh, it's a book now. Oh,
There's even a book
and
now. What?
that TV show is just derivative of Stranger Things. It's
What?
like
It was based on Stephen King's
so.
crazy idea about clowns.
Well, so the idea. So I watched interviews and Stephen King's done he's done like these presentations at schools or events, and he talks about a lot of these things. And so it was, and he got the idea. His I think he had his car was towed to like the auto store or not store, but shop. I think the transmission, as he said in the presentation, I think it just fell out
Mm,
whatever. So he was walking home, and he said he was walking over this wooden bridge, and he had like I think he had cowboy boots or something on like that on, and he had like the click clack of his boots over the bridge, and he remembered like the troll under the bridge story, and so that was kind of the spark for the book It. And he's like,
mm.
so what if I made a book where I took all these monsters from all those 1950s like horror movies, like The Mummy, the wolf, the werewolf, and all these other monsters. And what if I make the main monster like a fucking clown? That would just be great. And then the final representation of the monster was a spider, which in the miniseries, the 1990s miniseries, didn't look very good. I don't think anybody that produced it was happy, but they had I think it was budget issues and they had time constraints if I remember correctly. But anyways, um, in the book, you had two kind of overlapping stories. It was you had the kids facing it, and then you fast forward 27 years, and they come back minus one. I won't go into the details of that, but one of the kids doesn't come back as an adult, and they have to fight it again. Which you saw at the end of the 2017 movie, the kids fighting it,
Yep,
and they
they
did a
beat
lot
the
of
shit out of.
damage.
Yeah, they beat the shit out of him.
So, but they didn't kill it. So they
No,
had to come back as
he went.
adults.
That part I have not seen, but
So,
yeah, I believe you though.
so
But let's
um,
maybe we should have um something with a little bit more time for it. And I think I might need some time just to so I can see it. So I can see it.
yeah,
If that's okay with you. But maybe
no, that's
we
fine.
didn't need another episode for that. But I would just say, if you like what you're seeing,
Yeah,
like, subscribe, comment, share, whatever. Just to wrap this up a little bit. Um,
yeah, we are going kind of long, aren't
yeah,
we?
we're going a little bit long here.
Uh,
So, but yeah.
but
So anyways,
that's fine. Go
but
ahead.
yeah. Please, all those things. Tom, any final thoughts or?
So I really enjoyed the show. Welcome to Derry. It's on HBO Max. The final episode is coming out on Sunday. It airs at 9 p.m. Central Time.
Mhm.
Um, so, in Mike, I recommend you watch the second movie. The one complaint that I think I kind of agree with both these movies and then the 1990 miniseries is the kids part is phenomenal. The adult part is kind of it's better, I think, in the most recent movie, but the one I think maybe the saving grace for the 1990 series miniseries was Tim Curry as Pennywise, the
Sure,
dancing clown.
sure.
Oh, the well, no, I'm not going to give that spoiler away from the show,
But yeah,
but
so yeah, so just to kind of like wrap this up, I just wanted to say, had a great night. Tom, good night.
cheers, good night.
Good
It was
night.
great. It was a lot of fun talking tonight.
Thanks. Bye.